Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to a new video. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen what's happened with me. So, bear with me. I've got a bit of a monologue coming up in a second, but bear with me and we'll give you an update on all the projects. So, see you in a sec. So what's following on from this video will be me giving you an update on all the projects at the moment. Strange change of scenery. I'll be sitting in the park, so bear with me. I'm going to be going through why I've been out of action for a few days. I know some of you already know that, but I just wanted to explain to you where we are. So yeah, let's just get into the Copart stuff for the minute. There's a car coming up today which is of interest, so let's get straight into that now and we'll show you it. So this is the car that we got coming up today. As you can see, it's a facelift. I think it's a 2015, so it's an early facelift. So something's fallen on it by the looks of it. As you can see, it's only a Cat N, so the bonnet is caved in, as you can see. The wings caved in and the bumper's damaged. It's a convertible, as I said. It's in the Glam Coral Red, which is quite a nice colour. I don't think there's any other damage around it. Obviously we're not seeing in any of these pictures that the roof works. We have to assume that it does, but obviously it's Copart, so never assume. It's got a remote key that you can see there. Obviously it's facelift, so it's got the facelift stereo and so on. The nicer seats. 1.2, nice clean 1.2 engine. Doesn't look like either of the headlight brackets are broken, so chances are the front panel's fine. It's done 46,000 miles. There's no lights up on the dash that shouldn't be. So there's the damage. So I think we can safely assume that that inner wing will be fine. The bracket might be broken, might be bent at the front, but as you've seen on previous projects, they're easy to change, held on by 2 bolts. Importantly, the trim on the bumper all look okay, because they're the expensive parts. You can pick. There is a bumper on eBay at the moment for 100 quid in the right colour, minus all the trim, but of course we've got all the trim for this. There's also a bonnet on eBay which has got some very slight damage which could easily be repaired. That's the only one in that colour, so it would actually be cheaper to get it PDR repaired, or PDR repair it myself if I could, rather than try and paint, because I imagine that's probably quite a difficult colour to match, like a lot of these modern colours are. Obviously the wing isn't needed as well. There are no wings on there at the moment, but I'm sure one will come up. Oh yes, oh no, that's the other side of the wing, so the door looks fine. But that's obviously, whether that's, the gap doesn't look out, but something's obviously caught that. Whether it's pushed it back slightly or not, I don't know. Yeah, it's a strange one that's damaged there. That looks like the doors hit it, but I don't know, weird that. That's it for pictures. So if we go back to the description, so as we can see it's 2015, a Cat N of 46,000 miles, 65 plate. Yeah, front end damage. Estimated retail value is 6.5. It's currently at 2,100. 2,050. It keeps going up. Now, bearing in mind I paid 2,500 in total with no fees on eBay for my current red car, my 67 plate. It's not a C, I know. About the same sort of mileage, and obviously this is worth more being a C. But we've also seen since then similar cars to my 67 plate of the same year go for less than 2,500, or just under. I think it went for 250 or 2.3, something like that. Once you add the fees on, you're heading towards 2,800, 2,900. So I would like to think that this will go for no more than 2.5. There's obviously quite a lot of interest in it, and it starts, as you can see, in an hour and a quarter. It's number 78 into the auction, the 78th car, so that's going to be a good hour and a half into the auction. So not ideal. When you're buying, the earlier the bids, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And possibly equally at the end of the auction as well. If you're mid-auction like this one is, then you've got more people there. I find that often if you're in the first 3 or 4 lots, I've missed it myself. You come into the auction too late, you forget about it, and you come into it too late and it's already gone. That's happened to me a few times. And I think the same applies to the end of the auction. People have bought what they want. It gets towards the end of the auction, there's less people on there. So beginning and end are the best. Obviously you can go by the lot numbers as to see, or the item, not the lot number, the item number. Lane B 2078, it will start off at 2001, I imagine. I haven't actually looked, but that's normally the way it goes. So yeah, number 78, so that'll probably come up about 1:1, something like that. So we're not in a position to buy anything at the moment. However, if you could get that for £2,500, that would be a nice bit of profit in there, because that would sell for around the £5,000 mark, easy, probably more. As a non-cat car, that would probably go for around the 7,000-8,000 mark. So as a cat car, even though it's an N, easy £5,000, easy £5,000. So I'm going to have a little bid on it. If I happen to win it, I can park it up somewhere until I've got space. So we'll come back later on. We're going to go into the other video now that I mentioned earlier, where I went for a walk in the park, and I've sat down and I've told you about what happened with me last week, and an update on the cars. So bear with me, and we'll give you an update on the current cars, and then we'll come back after that, and we'll come back and we'll do the filming of the actual video of this auction. There are more cars in my watch list that are coming up. Most of them are just out of interest, but there is another interesting one which I'll go through, and I'll probably put on another video. But today we're going to be having a bid on this one, so stay tuned. Put up with my monologue, or skip past it if you don't want to hear it. But as I say, within that will be the update on the current 4 projects, and we'll see you on the other end with a live auction of this. So see you shortly. Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to a view with a difference. If you've been following me on Instagram, or you've seen 1 or 2 of my comments on some of the other videos, you might know that I rushed myself into hospital on Monday. Woke up 6 o'clock Monday morning in extreme agony in my lower back, right hand side. Absolute agony, writhing around the bed, screaming in pain. Awful. Got up, tried to make a cup of tea, and the pain just got worse and worse and worse. Nightmare. My wife rang 111, got an appointment at 20 to 1 in the afternoon at the local A&E, which is luckily just round the corner. My sister-in-law took me down there, and after many hours in A&E, I had a CT scan, and it turned out that I had a 6mm stone in my ureter, which is the tube that connects your kidneys, or your kidney to your bladder. And because of the size of it, they had to operate to get it off. They couldn't just blast it or let it pass. I had to be operated on. So I went into, I stayed the night and then went into surgery the following morning. You're mainly blokes on the channel, so you're not going to like this very much, but yeah, so basically they stick a camera down the eye of the storm, you know what I mean, and then they stick a laser down it, and then they blasted it with the laser for 6 minutes, and blasted it into pieces, several pieces. One little piece was left behind, and then they've basically put a stent in, which is like a little plastic tube with like a little pig's tail at each end. So one end is in the bladder, one end is in the kidney, and it keeps the tube open to allow the flow of urine and to allow anything that's left over to come out. So every time I wee now, it's like the pain comes back. The pain that I had on Monday morning, it's that pain that comes back when I wee, and it's absolute agony. It's all right at the moment, it's fine. I just come over to the park for a walk. I've been sort of immobile for, well, it's Friday today, so I've been immobile since Monday, or since Sunday. And I need to come out and stretch my legs. The sun's out a little bit, so it's relatively warm today, thankfully. So yeah, unfortunately this video starting off with nothing to do with Fiat 500s or cars in general. I just wanted to explain to you where I've been and why I've maybe not been uploading as much as I should have done recently. We'll go through the projects in a minute, but yeah, so I'm on the mend. I've got to go to the hospital. Well, they said within 2 weeks to have the stent removed, which obviously they have to put something else down the eye of the storm to then pull the stent out. So I'm not looking forward to that very much. I think that's under a local anaesthetic, whereas the thing was done under a general anaesthetic. So apart from having a catheter, which wasn't very nice, which I've never had before, and I'm sure many of you out there have, not very pleasant. Obviously they took that out, and then that wasn't very comfortable. It wasn't painful, just not very comfortable. But yeah, so that's my woes. I just thought I'd share my woes with you, because apart from sharing my woes with my wife and my daughter, I've not been able to share my woes with anyone else, and I'm sort of feeling sorry for myself a little bit. And I know there's many people out there that are far worse off than me, and but obviously when it happens to you and you have to have an operation, and obviously even though we're still on the way out of COVID, of course, you know, I got to A&E with my wife. She came as well, and of course they wouldn't let her in, so I was in agony on my own in A&E, which wasn't nice. And then of course I only spent 2 days in the hospital, or 2.5 days in the hospital on my own. Luckily I had people in the ward I was on with me I could talk to, so it sort of, you know, made the time go a little bit quicker. But yeah, not nice. But I just wanted to give a big shout out to the NHS. They get a bit of a raw deal, the NHS, sometimes, and I know we all think they're wonderful and we've clapped on our doorsteps and so on and so forth during COVID, but the care I got in this hospital was amazing, absolutely amazing by everybody, just incredible. And those healthcare assistants work their socks off. It was difficult to try and work out who was who at one point, because they don't seem to have badges and stuff on anymore, saying, you know, what they do, and they all seem to wear the same sort of uniform. But yeah, those it was all ladies in the wards and the departments that I was in, but all those ladies in those healthcare assistants, absolutely marvellous, run off their feet and absolutely marvellous. Can't praise them high enough. So anyone that's out there that does that job, or as a partner or friend or anyone that does that job, pass on my thanks, because honestly they were just amazing. Cannot fault them one little bit. Incredible. Anyway, onto the cars. So yeah, I'm in the park at the moment. We'll come on to the cars in a second. I'm just going to pause the video for a moment. I'm just enjoying the sun. The sun's just come out from behind a cloud, and it's rather nice. So we're back in a second. So yeah, right, where are we with the cars? So someone's just walking up. I don't want to talk to myself now. I look like an idiot. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, she gave me a funny look when she walked past. I mean, these days people can be FaceTiming, can't they? You don't have to be talking to yourself. But anyway, so where were we? Yeah, so the cars, where are we with the project? So we've got the R-Bar. As you know, the R-Bar's gone, sold, finished, final, done and dusted. I do miss it. Got my Puma, of course, on the drive, which I barely used due to where I'm working at the moment. And of course, I've not been driving around for the last week. So we got Project Marilyn, which is still in the body shop. So I've spoken to the guy at the body shop a couple of times, and he's having some problems with it, lining stuff up. He's saying because he didn't see where the original damage was, it's difficult for him to ascertain as to what needs to be done. But he came to the conclusion that that chassis leg needed a pull. He said it was about 10 mil out. He hasn't put on the new inner wing that I gave him to do. He's straightened up the old one. I think he has. I think that's what he said. And he said it's all lining up except for the bonnet at the front. So today, what he's going to do, he's going to pull the front panel forward a bit. So I don't quite know how he's going to do that, you know, or why he's doing that, because obviously I haven't seen it. But that's what he says he's going to do. So yeah, so he's going to pull that front panel forwards, and he said I'll either get back today, or he'll come around and swap them over for the red one, the 67 plate one, on Monday. So it's probably going to be Monday. He said he's not in the weekend, so it's probably going to be Monday. So hopefully we'll be getting Project Marilyn back on Monday. I don't suppose it's going to happen today, but if I get it back on Monday, that'd be good. It needs to be taken down to have the wheel alignment done, and then it needs to go in for service and MOT. I think that's all it needs. Still need to sort out a bumper. I can't remember now. He's had it like a month, and I think the bumper itself isn't good enough. I might be able to put some paint on it and improve it, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's Marilyn. So then I obviously need to get it in for service and MOT. and then that should be done then. I can't even remember if I've cleaned the seats or any of that sort of stuff, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, when we get it back on Monday. So yeah, so that's Project Marilyn. So and then Project Loopy Harold. You know about what's going on with Loopy Harold. No video will be complete now without Loopy Harold featuring in it, even if I only talk about him. He's been sitting on my outside my house. He's all taxed, insured, MOT'd, etc, etc. Sitting outside my house. Well, I had 9 days off work, and then of course I went down with this on Monday. So I've had about 6 or 7 days off work, then went down with this kidney stone. So probably 2 weeks Loopy Harold has been sitting outside my house, and I had a big bag of 20cm gravel delivered, which I had put on the driveway, and I had to move Loopy Harold out of the way. So put the key in, flick the switch, and off it went. Fired up straight away, no problems. Got it out of the way, had the stones delivered, put it back. It's weird. You know, we do still think that thing is leaking, but if it's leaking, it's leaking. People keep saying on the channel, why don't you use this what's it called, this steel seals type stuff. I have mentioned this on the channel when I've replied to people, and some people have said I'll give it a go, and other people have said don't go anywhere near it. So I had a look on Amazon, and there's numerous different types, but when I read some of the comments, the reviews on it, I can see that there are people on there that have had great problems and have made it even worse, and have ended up costing them more money by using the stuff. So I'm a little bit dubious, and I don't want to do it. The car isn't causing any problems, and I wouldn't use it to then try and pretend when I sold it that there's nothing wrong with it, because there clearly is. And I'm not going to do a temporary fix on something and then try and sell it and let it be somebody else's problem. That's not me. I don't do that. So that's why I'm reluctant to use it. If I was keeping the car for a couple of years, then I might take a chance and give it a go. But at the moment, I don't really want to do that. I'm still hoping that I might break even. If I can get, I think I've spent £1,970 on it. If I can get about that for it, I'll be happy. All right, you might say it's not worth that, but we'll see. If I lose 200-300 quid, then so be it. You know, there's a lot of sweat and tears went into doing that car, a lot of time as well, which obviously doesn't cost me anything, and I'd like to try and break even on it if I can, but we'll see. Anyway, but that's Loopy Harold. Project Henrietta, obviously that's going to be swapped over. I've not touched that since well, it's ready to go. You know, the seats are stripped out, the rear panels all stripped out, seat belts out, all that, ready for it to go down to the body shop to have that done. I'm hoping it won't take too long. I'm expecting a delivery today of 2 bumpers, 2 non-OEM bumpers that I'm going to take to the body shop for them to paint. Hopefully it can paint them quick, because I think one of those is going to go on Marilyn, and the other one will go on the new car, which is what is it called, Rob and Viv, Project Rob and Viv. Project Rob and Viv, as you might have seen on a previous video, I've got new steering wheel for it. I'm going to put that on today, as it's not obviously going to be very it's not like I'm crawling under a car, so I'm just going to sit in the car and put the new steering wheel on today. Obviously I can't do very much due to, well, I'm not in pain as such, but you know what I've already described. I need to rest, so I'm going to do that today. You would have seen that in the video before this. And there's not really anything else to do now, apart from put that new bumper on. And then that's sort of, I don't think it needs any tyres. What else does it need? I'm still in 2 minds about the air conditioning condenser as to whether to bother changing it or not. It's holding gas, the air conditioning is freezing cold. Okay, it's a little bit bent up. I've bent it back into place and I've bolted it back to the front panel, and it's fine. It don't look very pretty, but then it's working. So I'm in 2 minds as to whether to do it. One, it means I need to get someone to come and empty it, because I don't want to break the law by, and obviously be bad for the environment by letting all the gas go into the atmosphere. That needs to be done properly by an AC specialist, really. So I could take it to the garage when it's serviced to get them to do it. I don't know what the cost for emptying it is, but then, you know, if they do that, then they've got to put a new one on, really. I don't really want to go to that expense. When it's working fine. So I think what I might do is leave it, and when I come to sell it, I say, look, I'll be honest with people. I'm always honest with people. Say, look, I've repaired this. I haven't put the new condenser on because it doesn't need one. I don't believe it needs one, but it is a bit bent up. If it should go within the next 12 months, I will put a new one on for you, and I'll do it at my expense. I don't think it will go, but if it does, then you know I can do it. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. I don't think the unnecessary expense is warrants it at the moment. And also, you know, I haven't got one in stock. I need to buy one. They're not expensive, but I still got to buy one. And if I don't have to do that, then you know I could have one in stock as and when it needed to be done from a breaker car or something. So yeah, there's not. I haven't cleaned the seats on it or anything like that. So that all needs. Have I even hoovered it inside? Yeah, I did hoover it inside the other day at the weekend. I haven't really cleaned it up inside. Obviously all the dash and everything's done. I've got the airbag ECU back, which you would have seen in the previous video. Seat belts got to be done. I haven't done those yet because I'm recuperating. I don't really want to be doing things like that. So yeah, I've got to put the new seat belts and pre-tensioners in. Got to put the airbag ECU back in, reset any codes that need resetting. Hopefully that knee airbag code will go away now the ECU's back and has been reset. And then yeah, as I say, the new bumper needs to go on. I'm still looking for new bumpers in colour. There just aren't any at the moment in white, even though white's the most common colour. There just aren't any. Give it a final spruce up, get it serviced, get it MOT'd, and then that one will be done. So I'm sort of expecting that and Marilyn to be done at the same time, and they're both white lounges. Obviously one's a 12 plate, one's a 10 plate. I have got someone that already wants to buy at least one of them, and her daughter's birthday's at the end of June, so hopefully I'll get that done long before then, because we're only sort of beginning of May at the moment. It May the 6th or something today. So that's where we are with those. I think that's it. So I've just relocated to another bench, just continued my walk round. So yeah, I think so that's basically where we are with the current projects. So there is work to do, but I'm just not really able to do it health wise at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm watching some more cars on Copart. There's some couple of interesting projects coming up in the next few days, so I'm going to be filming those as well, and I'll probably add them to this video. And then hopefully it'll make it a bit more of interest rather than me doing a monologue sitting on a park bench. I've also I'm going to have another product review to do. I bought a tool cabinet, a US Pro Tools tool cabinet. Now I think they're the cheaper end of the market, but I've did lots of research on these things, and I didn't really think it was worth me spending hundreds of pounds on one. So I've spent about £100 on one, and hopefully that will be good enough to use. So it's only the bottom one at the moment. You know, you've got it's about, I don't know, 4 foot high, something like that, and then you've got the other toolbox that goes on the top. So I haven't bought that extra toolbox that goes on the top yet. I've just bought the main one, but I'll get that one, see what it's like. It's obviously going to come flat packed, I guess, so I've got to build the damn thing, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, we'll do a review of that and see what that's like. Oh, incidentally, the battery out of the new project is knackered. I put it onto that charge where it repaired it, which it seemed it looked like it had done, and then I couldn't. I think what happened. I think the socket tripped, and when I tried to put it back onto repair mode again, it wouldn't go into repair mode. So I put it onto charge. It charged up and came up as like green, saying it's finished charging. And when I put my little meter on the battery, it's showing as like low charge. So, and I did it again, and it's done the same thing. So I don't think it's any good. So I'm probably going to have to buy a new battery for that one. It does look like quite an old battery, and I might get some of those tablets. Someone suggested you could get those tablets and you sort of open the top of the battery. Although they're sealed batteries, you can open the top of them, and then you drop these tablets in, and it's supposed to sort of zing it back to life. So I might get some of those on Amazon. I think they're about £8 for a pack. I might get some and try it and see what happens before I fork out and get a new battery. So at the moment I've got that Raptor battery, which is not a stop-start battery, but you know I can use it in the car for the time being. It's just that the stop-start won't work, which they don't work half the time anyway, stop-start. So I'll leave that for now. I'll order some of those today, and we'll give that a go. You never know. So yeah, that's what we're. So I'll whack as much content as I can into this video, but this is probably going to be quite a short video. It just sort of gave me the opportunity to sort of sit down and just tell you where we are with all the projects at the moment. which is what I've done. So I'll sign off for the time being, and I'll probably be back later and go through some other stuff.
Your watch item is next on the block.
I reckon it's going to go for over 3k now. 2550, 26. Still a good price, I guess, considering how much work needs to be done. It is on, oh no, it's a pure sale, it's changed. That was on reserve earlier. Oh, it must have reached the reserve, that's why. $2,800 or $2,750 rather. Someone wants it. I reckon it's going to go for about 3.2 once you add fees on. $2,900.
New bidder.
$3,000 now, isn't it? Yep, $3,000. I thought that's where it was going to stop. So I reckon 3.2. It's going to stop at 3.2. That psychological barrier, $3,000. You might as well have another 1 or 2 bids. 3,150. Far more than I'd be prepared to pay for it. If you're keeping it for yourself.
Bonus time.
Go on, I reckon they're going to have one more bid. Come on, make me right. 3.2. Go on, one more bid. Go on, you know you can do it. Go on.
This is a hot lot.
Oh, you're going to leave it? You're going to lose out for 50 quid? Oh no, it's gone to 3.2. Oh, still going. 3.3. Right. We're going to be pushing $4,000 now as a finished price, including fees.
Bonus time.
Go on, one more. 3,300 quid.
Bonus time.
Looks like that's going to be the end of it. £3,300. So someone's bought a nice car there. Someone's bought a very nice car, but it wasn't me.
New bidder.
So I thought I'd put those cars in with that video as well. So yeah, it's a shame. I was willing to pay about 2.5 for that convertible, but it wasn't to be. So never mind. Someone's got a good, nice car. 3,300 quid plus fees. You're looking at approaching $4,000, if not on the nose of $4,000 plus delivery. So it ends up being an expensive car in the end. But so yeah, so you know, as my video of me sitting in the park explained, I'm still out of action a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to go backwards by trying to do too much. So unfortunately, there won't be very much content for the next week or so. But thanks for watching this. I hope you stuck with me during my little monologue in the park. And as always, massive thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you hopefully soon on the next video. Take care, stay safe. See you very soon, hopefully.